Hi. I wasn't planning on being here today. I was gonna take a few days off at least from doing a live, and it just wasn't my intention. But then I did the dishes, and this seems to now be a theme that when I'm doing these everyday things, that God quite literally taps on the window and shows me something, and I just want to tell you. And so I was washing the dishes this morning, and I was washing the dishes early because, like many of you, my kids are home learning. So my daughter is home from college, and she's got a space where she can learn. And our youngest son is 11, and so we have him set up just in the dining room with his iPad and his, books and all of his things. But this was prior to that. So this is 7 a.m. or something like that, and they start school at 9. So I wanted to get the dishes done before he was in that workspace, just so that it wouldn't be a distraction. I mean, it's hard to learn with distractions, right? So I wanted to get those dishes done. And, if you follow me at all, then I'm like a really early riser. And so I'd been up for a long time, done all my things. And so why not get these dishes done? So I began to wash the dishes. And as I did, I heard a noise. And I wasn't exactly sure what the noise was. I couldn't exactly hear it real clear over the sound of the water running as I did the dishes. And so I kind of ignored it at first, like maybe the dog, dropped his ball, or I don't know, it's fine. Except for I just kept hearing this noise. And so I thought, well, I did throw a load in the dryer, and so maybe somebody's shoe was still in there, or maybe there was, a ball in a pocket, or I don't know. So I went downstairs. No, there was nothing in the dryer. Nothing making any noise down there. So then I thought, well, maybe it's one of the kids. I mean, maybe they're stirring in their beds, or maybe, somebody hit the wall, or, fell out of bed, or I don't know. What's this noise? So I go upstairs, and no, both kids are soundly sleeping. So I go back to doing the dishes, and I hear the noise again. And at this point, I'm convinced that it is coming from our living room. So I stop what I'm doing, and I dry my hands, and I go out in the living room, and I'm determined I'm just going to wait here until I hear that noise again. And I did. Except for this time I saw what it was. What was happening was there was a big fat robin, and it was pecking like on our picture window. Not pecking like a woodpecker, but like this determination, right? Like it's running into the window. Not like the accidental kind, like you just wash your windows and they haven't been washed for a long time, and then all of a sudden a bird like slams into your window and you're like, dang, I did a good job cleaning. Like it wasn't that. It wasn't that. This was like a repeated, like this bird, like running into the window. And so I just sat on the couch for a minute and was hoping, right? Like it'll just fly away. It's going to figure it out, that it can't get in here, and it's just going to fly away. So I sat down, and it came around back to the patio door in my living room and began the same thing at the back window, the back patio door. It's this bird just trying to get in or something. Now, I am a learner by nature. This is just like the way that God created me. I just want to be a student for like the rest of my life, right? So I've told you before, it's like I just sit in his word every day. I come downstairs, I go upstairs every day. I'm just like, what do you got? What do you got? Right? I'm just like, I just want to learn. I just want to. And so I thought, well, I got to look this up. I got to look this up. So I looked it up, and that's why we're here. Because I was doing the dishes, and a robin was attacking my windows. So what you're going to see is, you're not going to see me with a Bible in front of me today. There's not any certain point in scripture that I'm necessarily going to, hit home. I just want to tell you what I saw. I just want to tell you what he showed me. And we're just going to talk about this for a minute, okay? Because when he shows me something and my mouth is like, or the light bulb is just like so gigantic, right? I just gotta tell you. So I'm gonna have the article that I read, and I've got it here in front of me. So what I looked up, right, is what any of you would probably look up if you went to Google, which is, how do I stop a bird from attacking my window? And I have a feeling that you may just be as surprised as I was, and just how relevant it is for right now in the season that every single one of us is in. So what I found out is this. We are familiar with the occasional window strike from a bird. But when a bird deliberately attacks a window or any other reflective surface over and over, unique steps may be needed to protect the bird from itself. Because the reason that the bird is attacking the window is because they assume that it is a rival bird, and it will attack the reflection to try and drive the intruder away. That bird thinks that it's looking at an enemy, when in all reality, he's looking at his very own reflection. And as I sat with that and I thought about how each and every single one of us was created in the very image of God, to reflect who he is. Like, we all together collectively, right? We are his masterpiece, and we are the body. And I thought about this bird who is so convinced that the reflection that he sees is an enemy that he can't stop attacking. And I just sat there with that, because I don't know about you, but I'm just seeing a lot of attacking, and a lot of blame, and a lot of assumptions, and and here's the deal. It all comes from this place of fear. It all comes from this place of, I just can't control anything right now, and I don't know what to do, and so attacking seems like the right thing to do, because at least if I'm attacking, I'm on the winning side of this. I went on to read this. Attacks are most common when the competitive drive is the highest and birds begin to claim their territory. They are convinced that the reflection that they see is the enemy. The article went on to say that only after this season has ended will the aggression stop, unless some steps are taken. How do we live and love fully right here, right now, in the midst of the war? How do we do that? How do we not wait until the season is over, but learn how to love in the season that we're in? Well, I just kept reading that article, and this is what it said. These are some ways that attacking the reflection can stop. It said, number one, break up the reflection of what the bird sees, so it does not feel threatened by a non-existent competitor. It suggested ways to cover the window. We need to cover that. We need to guard our heart above all else. We need to be aware of what it is we're looking at and being able to name it and understand that we all have the same enemy and it's not one another. And so we need to break up what it is that we think that we're seeing, and we need to name what it is that we are truly seeing. We need to change what it is that we're seeing. Number two, move the perch. Move the perch. You know, it said that if, for example, we had our car parked outside during this time, and where our car was parked, that bird was sitting on top of that rearview mirror, and just whenever he looked at our window, like that's all he could see. Like, we just need to help this bird out, and we just need to move the perch. See, we need to move the perch. We need to shift our focus. We need to fix our eyes somewhere else. We gotta move the perch. Number three was this. Make it less bird friendly in order to encourage the bird to a less hostile territory for nesting and for raising their family. And although birds may miss their company, the birds will feel safer and less stressed in an area away from the harassing reflection. That one about speaks for itself, does it not? Friends, if social media is causing you, if it is exhausting you, if it is depleting you, you may need to move the perch. You may need to shift your eyes from certain things that you're looking at and shift them to where it is that you can find hope and encouragement and strength for these times, instead of finding yourself going along with the rest of the birds and seeing something that's not really real. You may need to just find a new place to nest. And although you may miss the company of the space, you will feel safer and less stressed in that new environment. What I've been seeing lately is a lot of what has really been going on since the beginning of time, and that is we have a tendency to kind of blame or to call out. We don't know who to blame for this virus. We can't make sense of it. And so, but there's got to be somebody. There's just got to be somebody. And so it becomes then groups of people, or this group is not doing enough and they need to do more. And it comes out not from this place of like love and concern. It comes out from this place of shaking our finger at someone and telling them, if you were doing this, if you would just do this thing. And we end up oftentimes using social media as a place to rally the troops to attack and not rally the troops to defend. And so during this time, how do we love? And how do we serve? And how do we do all of the things that we are asked to do? Listen, we need to stay at home. We got to trust the experts in that. But we cannot and should not go pick up that microphone that is social media and blare through that place any kind of shame or condemnation or assumption or flat out lies or any of those things, because it's not helping anybody. It's exhausting you, and it's exhausting those who are watching the birds, and it's stressing people out, and we don't know the full story. And of course we don't know the full story, but we make those assumptions and we create those divisions. We see people and we make those assumptions. We see somebody with extra things in their cart and we think, well, what in the world? Look at them. Look, they're such a hoarder. We don't even know. We don't even know. They could be picking up things for 5 elderly people that are not feeling well in their neighborhood and delivering them. But we have already decided, because for some reason, our humanness thinks that we need to have an us and a them instead of all of us in this together. And yet, oftentimes, that's the very thing that mouth is preaching. We're all in this together. When we see those that we believe are living recklessly, why would it be in us to call them out and to try to raise up our gun and shoot, as opposed to letting that person know that they are part of this community and that their life is indeed worth protecting? You know, I said that I wasn't going to be pulling out certain Bible verses, but I can't help but it's just the language I know, so it's the language I speak. And so, oh my goodness, could we just do all things in love, whether it is eating or drinking or posting or walking or whatever it is, or washing the dishes, please. 15 minutes before I came on live, the news broke in. And they were giving an update for this coronavirus. And I have never been so grateful to have the news on ever, because I got to hear a few things that just confirmed exactly why I knew I was to come on here tonight and share this message. And I did not want to, and I am not kidding, until after I got done washing those dishes and I sat with what I now knew and I went for a walk. And do you know that the only thing that I saw from here to back home, that entire 4.85 miles, was robin after robin after robin? Of course, that's what I saw. So 15 minutes before I go on this live, they come on. And I listened to Dr. Deborah Birx, and I made sure that I wrote down what she said, because it is so true. She said, we begin and we end with community. They said the next 2 weeks are going to be really hard. And I'm going to tell you what, if what everything I've read to be true, a few thousand years ago, it wasn't so easy either. About this time. Those 2 weeks. But we know it's going to be hard. And now we know going in. And so now we know how to prepare. They talked about how the best thing that we can do right now is community mitigation. This is what we need to do. It begins and it ends with community mitigation. Now, I had to look it up. It's all right. It's okay to look up a word when you don't know really what it means. I don't care what age you are. So I looked up, and do you know that it said to mitigate means to lessen the intensity of the wrath, the pain, the grief, the extreme circumstances. So to community mitigate, friends, it means to lessen the impact through unity. We need to work together and not just our physical bodies. We need to remember that we are not the enemy. That person that you see is not the enemy. That person is created in the same image as you. We need to quit attacking the window. We need to change what it is that we are seeing. We need to clear our lens. We need to move the perch. We need to find a safe place for our nest. Let's take care of each other. Let's really take care of each other, and let's stay home in more ways than one. My plan right now, again, is to come on tomorrow night again live at 5 and talk about what it means to stay home in every way. So we'll just see what God says about that tomorrow. Thanks for being here with me and for listening to me go on and on. Now you know how my husband feels. I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for us, and together we are better. We really are. Much love to all of you as we journey this thing together. Mwah.